Okay.
Ali, it's so lovely to chat to you today for hashtag She Can. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. And I saw that I have amazing, inspirational women all around in your website. It's such a wonderful thing that you are doing, really. So since a couple of years, I started a website called time2act.today, which is a positive platform which reunites reviews. And at the moment, we're in the process of also rating sustainable products for the house, for the garden, for the office. Plus, it also has positive information regarding all, sustainability and the environment, with books and media talks and positive articles. So basically, what we wanted to do was to really give a boost of energy. You know, people that have this sort of doom and gloom. Why should I change? Because anyhow, not, I won't make a difference. Well, instead, we're there to say, no, you can make a difference. It's actually very easy. And because also people are lazy, I just found for myself it was really difficult to find, a gardening product gardening pots, and I had to look everywhere to find them. So basically we had came up with this idea to reunite everything in one portal. So to make life easier for people to make changes, in important changes in their lifestyle. And then at the moment, we're also working on the shop, which will focus on biomaterials, because there's so many interesting like biomaterials coming through now. There's like a silk made out of orange peels, or there's a leather made of cactus. So to really bring attention to these new products and new materials that are coming up that are super interesting to me. And so that's where we want to make the focus of the shop. Although we always say, sort of the less you consume, the better. But if you have to consume, then, then try to do it sustainably and intelligently, sort of, and with care to the planet.
I love that, Ali. It's so great. You're really gonna you really are the portal for people to understand which products to use in their daily lives, and that's already how they make a difference. Ali, how did you get there?
Oh God, it is because it's very strange. I've been always a very eclectic person. I have interests all over the place, and I always think to myself, it's like I need like another 50 lifetimes to actually do everything I want to do. So, it started with graphic design when I was young, and then graphic design. I did 1 year at GQ magazine. It was found a bit stale, a bit too harsh for me. Let's put it this way, not emotional enough. Then I did painting, and then from in painting was very intense, because that's a whole different process of learning yourself, and this sort of and diving deep into yourself, and then if in your demons or not demons, or sort of. Then from that, I always did art therapy with children, with kids company with whom I've worked for 30 years. And then I followed that a lot when it was really, really enlightening and empowering, and wonderful thing to do. So then in the meantime, then I also sort of then I moved to Tuscany, and with my husband we did the typical under the Tuscan sun. We did a beautiful, there was a rundown house, we redid it all, because, and then I had my biggest works of art, which were my two daughters. And which, if one has to ask me sort of what, that is what has, being a mother is really what has fulfilled me most of all. And I think it will always be the main thing for me, really. But then we came back here, and I said, because in the meantime I had done a lot of houses. I wouldn't call myself an interior decorator as such, but I did a lot of houses, and then we sold them, and then I came back and said, okay, the girls are both both at school the whole time. I need to do something. So I said, okay, why don't I get into design? And I wanted to design some beautiful objects made of bronze and things, sort of, and then I realized the energy it would take me to just do a bronze tray, because then I wanted the foundry to have a particular story. So there was this Fonderia Battaglia in Milan, and sort of, but it took me like 8 months to come up with one one tray, beautiful tray. But I just said, I don't have the energy to put more stuff. And then you do research and you see how many trays are there in the world. There's so many trays. I cannot put all my effort to do this. It's just my heart is not in this. And so then I took 6 months to really think, it's like, what is really important to me. And then I was just watching TED Talks and seeing all these amazing, inspiring people. And then one night, literally, was almost universe sent. Well, it was sent by the universe, because it's not something I've ever done before. So I wake up in the middle of the night and I even have the name. It's like, it's time to act today. And it's this website, and it had the whole thing with it. And I went down to my kitchen and I just wrote it all down. And then in the morning, I wake up and it's like, I've never done a website. I don't know really actually anything about sustainability, and sort of, but I just felt this urge that this is the most important topic at the moment, because without a planet, there's nothing else is important. Do you see what I mean? There's no planet and no nothing else. So that's what to me is the most important thing at the moment. That we all get on board, and we get on board of this seriously, and no more doom and gloom, but actually we need to act together and do what we can, all of us together, and we can make, and there are amazing changes that are happening at the moment, and it's very exciting to see, and I'm very positive.
You're such a positive person, Ali, and I'm really very grateful that you're using your time to research all of this and to then turn it out to us or present it to us in a really easily accessible way. Ali, what would you say were sort of the defining moments in your life to get to where you are now?
The defining moments is
Like pivotal moments, like most important moments that led you to.
to time to act, you
Yeah,
think?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
um well, I think a lot was well, I've always, sort of, to me, the environment and nature, I've always had an amazing affinity to nature, and to, so I did an amazing trip in Ecuador on plant consciousness. And that really brought me to an amazing deep level of understanding plants and plant consciousness. And so all these subjects really, have always been at my heart, and so yeah, that was one of the reason. And then also for my children, because I don't want to talk to my grandchildren and say, so what were you doing when the world was actually burning up? And and say, well, I was nail filing, my nails. I want to say, I was there, I was an activist, I was trying to do my best, and I was trying to do my bit. So thinking about, my grandchildren also. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's, we're all motivated by that.
Yeah.
Um, um, Ali, what motivates you in all of this going forwards with this, um, you know,
Well, it's really to get more people on board. And, I think this is a revolution that is going to happen from the bottom up rather than the top down. And because it's going to be the consumer that will then make the companies change, because the companies are not going to change by their own accord. Coca-Cola is not going to start cleaning up their act just because they want to by themselves. If the customers stop buying Coca-Cola because they're littering, because they don't have a circular economy in place, then then that's when they're going to make the changes. And so so this is, yeah, that's what motivates me and gets me up in the morning to try to make a difference, the little difference I can make, or the biggest difference, whatever the biggest difference I can make. So
Yeah, and you're making a big difference. Ali, where do you see yourself in 5 years with this?
So I'm hoping, that it can be time to, because at the moment it's just Europe and more focused on UK, because there are more stuff in the UK at the moment, but it's expanding to Europe. I would love to see the shop have many more really interesting biomaterials, because these biomaterials at the moment, they're done in the lab, but they never then manage to be commercial. So slowly, some are trickling out, but I'd like to see many more, and have it, have a really interesting platform for these biomaterials to show their purposes, but other purposes. And yeah, then probably, who knows, T2A America, or and I'd love also to organize a lot of events, a lot of talks. Then I have another project up here. I had some fields, and now I'm giving the fields off to do organic agriculture and farm, and I'm starting yet another whole little project. So have my hands in a lot of places, as always, as you know.
Thank you, Ali. It's very inspiring, and thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you so much. You are so inspiring to all of us, because I mean, with what you've done with Lalibela and your school, and I've always been in awe of you, and you have to inspire many more women. I'm
Thank
sure.
you, Ali.
Mwah.